Hi! Today is going to be a really special video because I'm going to unhaul books and then I'm going to haul some books that I bought with the money that I got from the unhaul. Yesterday I went to go unhaul some books at half price and I will put some footage of that. So it is Sunday and I don't go to work until 5:30, so I've decided to unhaul some books and maybe take you guys on a little adventure as I go and sell them at half price and get not nearly as much as I paid for all of them. I am selling the first 6 mangas in the Death Note series. I have decided that I am dropping the entire series. I don't like where it's going and I don't feel like I want to read them anytime soon. I have finished the anime, so I essentially know what happens because they're pretty on par with the mangas. Also giving away my copy of Paper Towns, Looking for Alaska, Let It Snow by John Green, Lauren Johnson and Lauren Miracle, and then Dash and Lily's Book of Dares by Rachel Cohn and David Levithan. I will never read these again. I have no interest in reading any of these, to be honest. Also getting rid of The Duff, Since You've Been Gone, Amy and Roger's Epic Detour, and Me, Earl and the Dying Girl. I dropped Me and Earl, and I had some problems with The Duff, and some problems with Since You've Been Gone, which I have talked about in my review of it. And I recently read Amy and Roger's Epic Detour, and I wasn't a huge fan of it. I really liked all the aspects of it, but I will never read it again, and it was only maybe like a 3.5 or a 4-star book for me, nothing that I want to keep on my shelves like the ones I have over here. And the last 2 books are Dark Places and Maybe Someday. I have read Dark Places and I loved it, but this edition doesn't match with my Gone Girl edition because, you know, this is a mass market paperback. So I'm going to be picking up a new edition of this, and Maybe Someday I really liked, but don't like it enough to reread this ever again. And I actually got about like $20 from half price. So I decided to buy a couple of books that I saw and I kind of just naturally gravitated towards while I was browsing, while I was waiting for them. When I was browsing, I saw this book and I just recently saw the movie, Rosemary's Baby by Era 11. This is sort of like in the horror genre. If you've seen the movie, you kind of know why. I really just want to see the comparison to the movie because it's so similar that Roman Polanski didn't really think to change anything because it thought it was going to be like copyright or something. So I just really want to see if this is like exactly like the movie. I don't really remember how I put this particular book on my Goodreads to be read list, but I did, and it was there, and I decided to get it, and it is In the Woods by Tana. This is the first in a series, I believe, and from the people that I follow on Goodreads, it's very well liked, except for the ending, because then it becomes like a series. It's about 3 children, and then we follow one of them as they grow up, or as they're an adult already, so should be interesting. The next book I got for $1, and it is the concluding book to a series that I am rereading at the moment, and it is Sisterhood Everlasting by Anne Brashels. This was only $1, and considering that me and Sylvia over at Wish Fulfillment and Shelly from Collie of the Wobbles are kind of buddy reading or like rereading the entire series to get to the finishing book that is this one, I couldn't pass it up, and this was the book that was like the tipping point that like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna buy some books today. On Goodreads, I saw that one of my Goodreads friends really enjoyed this book, and I remember it sounded really interesting when she talked about it. She doesn't have a booktube channel anymore, but it was Elizabeth, and she was raving about The Ghost Bride by Yagishi Chu, and it seemed very interesting and very something that I really wanted to get into. It's about a woman who becomes a ghost bride. To be honest, I don't really know what it's about, or I don't remember what it's about, but she said it was one of the best books she's ever read, ever, so I have to, that's why I bought it. And recently, me and Sylvia actually kind of book exchanged, sort of. I sent her a book, she sent me 2. She sent me Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov. I've always been interested in Lolita because I read a nonfiction memoir called Reading Lolita in Tehran, and I hadn't read Lolita at that point in time, but now I can try and read this. I know Sylvia had kind of a hard time reading it, and it wasn't one of the best books she's read ever, and that's why she's given it to me, but I just kind of want to see what it's about. There is intrigue, not necessarily for the subject matter, but I just want to know what happens or what it's about, you know what I mean? And the last book she gifted to me was The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I don't know what this is about, but I know a lot of people really like it. Sylvia wasn't one of those people, but I've always been interested in seeing what this book entails. I don't know what it's about, to be honest. I think it's about a traveling circus, and that's about it. If you guys ever want to buddy read anything with me, please let me know, because sometimes I really need a firm push to read books now, because at the moment I have been having trouble kind of getting past the 150 mark on a lot of books, and I'm feeling like I'm in a slump, but I don't know, it's whatever. I don't necessarily think that I'm in a reading slump, but I don't think that I am in a reading mood at this point. I've been rewatching How to Get Away with Murder, and I've been watching The Fosters on Netflix, and it's finals right now, and I'm not really stressed, it's just, I'm not stressed. Like, finals have not been stressing me out right now. I was more stressed at the beginning of this quarter, but now I'm finally like, wow, why haven't I been reading this whole time? Like, I'm kind of sad that I haven't been reading as much, or I haven't been reading the books that I've been wanting to start reading. I have this place in my shelf now of the books that I've started and haven't finished, and it's like 5 or 6 books. I have so many books from the library. I just don't have the feeling to read them, and it's really sad, and I hate it. But yeah, sometimes I need a push, and if you ever want to buddy read anything with me, let's do it. That's it for me today. I am going to go get some Starbucks probably, because, you know, I'm a little basic. Hope you guys are having a good day. Go read some books. I don't know what to say sometimes. I haven't filmed in a while, and it can kind of show through, but yeah. Hope you're having a good day. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!